and Congressman Ron Paul of Texas, who is now serving his 10th term in Congress.
Congressman Paul, do you support a government program to stimulate the economy?
Well, government program is too vague. What kind of a government program? If it's appropriating money and trying to stimulate that way and spend more money, no, that would be the wrong thing to do. But a government program of a reduced tax burden, yes, that would be. Also, to solve this problem, you have to understand why we're in a recession. I believe we're in a recession. I think it's going to get a lot worse. If we continue to do the wrong things that we've done in the past, that it's going to be delayed, just as what happened in the Depression. But you have to understand that overstimulation in an economy by artificially low interest rates by the Federal Reserve is the source of the recession. The recession has been predictable. We just don't know exactly when it'll come. But if you do the wrong thing, it's going to last for a long time. The boom period comes when they just pour out easy credit, and it teaches people to do the wrong things. There's a lot of malinvestment, debt that goes in the wrong directions. Consumers do the wrong things, and businessmen do the wrong thing. So we have to attack this and understand the importance of Austrian theory of the business cycle. If you don't, we're going to continue to do this, and the longer you delay the recession, the worse the recession is. And we've delayed a serious recession for a long time. The housing market is already in depression. And a lot of people are hurting. The standard of living in this country is going down. Look at what's happening to the dollar. And what is being offered by the Federal Reserve and Treasury and everybody in Washington? Lower interest rates. Well, lower interest rates is the problem. Artificially low interest rates is the artificial stimulus which causes the bubble, which allows the inevitable recession to come. So what we need to do is deal with monetary policy and not pretend that artificial stimulus by more spending is going to help. That won't do one bit of good.
Senator Thompson.
Congressman Paul, many of your supporters call themselves 9/11 truthers. They believe that the U.S. government was in some way complicit with the 9/11 attacks or covered it up. Are you tonight prepared to either embrace that rhetoric or ask those supporters to abandon it or divorce themselves from your candidacy?
Well, I can't tell people what to do, but I've abandoned those viewpoints. I don't believe that, and that's all. That's the only thing that is important. And so I don't endorse anything they say, but I would like to take an opportunity to talk about the issue that we've been debating here for the last 20 minutes.
Sir, would you ask them to cease that rhetoric? Would you ask them to cease that rhetoric tonight on your behalf?
Well, it doesn't do me any good, so if they care about me, they should. But the only thing I have control over is what I believe and what I say. I can't tell them what to do, so I don't endorse what they say, and I don't believe that. So please, could I participate in the current debate rather than picking this out?
Please do. Please do.
No, I would like to address the subject about whether or not we've lost our way and whether there's a coalition building or whether it's gone. I think it's gone. I don't think we're fiscal conservatives anymore. Look at what we've done over these last 10 years. We finally got control of the government, and we became big government people. Our deficit's out of control, and we no longer are opposed to new entitlements. We are entitlement people. And then we turn around and we talk about liberty, and we've undermined the Fourth Amendment and personal liberty and personal privacy. In the year 2000, we won the election by condemning the Democrats for nation building and policing the world. And now, what are we doing? We're policing the world. We're involved in all these countries around the world and threatening going into Iran and in Pakistan and on and on. At the same time, our economy is suffering to the point where we can't even finance what we have here today. We have to borrow from the Chinese, and the dollar is crashing. So no wonder our coalition is breaking up. We actually have lost our way. Now, over the years, I've never voted to spend one penny of the Social Security Fund because I'm a fiscal conservative. If you want the Social Security system to work, get people who will vote against robbing the Social Security Fund.
Thank you, Congressman Paul. It is by Iranian fast boats believed to be from the Revolutionary Guards. He also received, as you know, a warning that said that the American ships might be about to blow up. Did he make the correct call, sir?
That if you think you're going to engage the United States military, be prepared not simply to have a battle, be prepared first to put your sights on the American vessel, and then be prepared that the next thing you see will be the gates of hell, for that is exactly what you will see after that.
But sir, in this instance, the American warships, In this instance, however, the American warships were approached in a way that the commander said that he found provocative, indeed aggressive. They also received a warning that suggested that the American ships might be blown up and things were thrown into the water. They didn't know what they were. They did nothing. Now, are you prepared to say, after what you just said about these people being ready to face the gates of hell, that that was the right call?
I think one more step, and they would have been introduced to those virgins that they're looking forward to seeing.
Maybe by using this incident and the fact that Iran certainly shouldn't be seen as benign, as some people saw it when they tried to spin the NIE as suggesting that maybe we were being too serious about Iran. It would seem to me that this incident should wake a lot of people up.
Senator McCain, you've been a naval commander. This group, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, has been designated a terrorist organization. They made an aggressive and provocative approach to our warships. There was no certainty they weren't about to set off bombs. What would you have done as the commander?
I would have placed my confidence in the captains of those ships.
Well, what if you had been the captain? What would you have done?
If I'd have been the captain of the ship, I probably would have assessed the situation as it was at the time. And for those of us who were not in that situation, to second guess is a little bit presumptuous. I agree with Rudy. Maybe the Iranians think we're weaker because of the NIA. Maybe the Iranians aren't really slowing their export of most lethal explosive devices into Iraq. And I believe the President of the United States made the right statement. He told them that we will preserve the fundamental principle of freedom of the sea, and he will do what's necessary in order to preserve it. But don't think that this wasn't a serious situation of the utmost seriousness in one of the most important waterways in the world because of so much of the world's oil goes through there. The Iranians better understand that the United States will stick to its many years-long tradition of preserving the fundamental principle of freedom of the seas.
Congressman Paul, what if this happens again?
I would certainly urge a lot more caution than I'm hearing here tonight. It reminds me of what happened in the Gulf of Tonkin. We went to a war there, then later on found out there was a lot of false information. So here we have, let's put it in perspective, we have 5 small speedboats attacking the U.S. Navy with a destroyer. They could take care of those speedboats in about 5 seconds. And here we're ready to start World War III over this. And now, guess what? Today, the Navy commander of the 5th Fleet was on ABC and announced that, that voice might not have come from those vessels. So what does that mean? Was there a rush to judgment on this, ready to go to war? And there are people in this administration and in Washington, D.C. that are looking for the chance. They were so disappointed with the national estimate on intelligence. And they were disappointed that there's no attempt to build weapons in Iran since 2003.
Congressman,
so what? I just don't see this rush to judgment.
Well, wait a minute. All of these people I've asked this question to so far have said they supported the decision to be passive. Every one of your fellow candidates have said they supported the commander's decision to respond passively. I just wonder what you're reacting to.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I didn't hear that. Of course, we want caution, but I'm worrying about the policy of why we're looking for a justification. Now there are no weapons. Actually, people are looking around for an excuse to bomb Iran. I mean, we're already with our CIA being involved in trying to overthrow that government, and we don't need another war. And this incident should not be thrown out of proportion to the point where we're getting ready to attack Iran over this.
Governor Romney? If it happens again.
I think Congressman Paul should not be reading as many of Ahmadinejad's press releases. But let's
Sir.
Congressman Paul, can we go back to the Middle East? You have said the United States should not be trying to broker peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Should the president even be there today, sir?
Well, if you followed my advice, yes, we wouldn't be there. We've been doing that for a good many years, and it hasn't seemed to come to success. No, I think if we weren't there, there'd be more incentives to come to a peaceful agreement. But we support both sides, not only with the Palestinians, but the Lebanese and all the Arab nations. We support Israel, and we try to have this balance.